kind.
Yes, sir.
Was like us to something. Lie with your from lovers. Receptiveness. Musica tibiarium imperabat. Music of pipes commanded.
Ruled is better.
Silver oars, sighting the ocean, as if amorous.
That is very good.
Regina reclinerat. Queen was reclining. Praetor descriptione. Indescribably, in a golden tent, like Venus and yet more.
Try to put some poetry into it.
How can I if there is none like her?
Oh, the critic.
Who is the poet?
Known to you,
No, to me.
not a Roman.
Mr. Chater.
Your translation is quite like Chater.
I know who it is. It's your friend Byron.
Lord Byron, if you please.
Mamma is in love with Lord Byron.
Yes, nonsense.
It is not nonsense. I saw them together in the gazebo. Mamma was laughing with her head in her best position.
She did not understand the satire and was merely showing politeness to a guest.
She is vexed with Papa for his determination to alter the park. That alone cannot account for her politeness to a guest. She came downstairs hours before her custom. Lord Byron was amusing at breakfast. Paid you the tribute sent to us.
Did he?
He said you were a witty fellow, that he had almost by heart an article which you wrote about, well, I forget what, but it concerned a book called The Maid of Turn, and how you would not give it to your dog for dinner.
Ah. Mr. Chater was down at breakfast, of course.
He was, not like a certain lazy bit.
He does not have mathematics to correct and Latin to set.
Correct? What was incorrect in it? Alpha minus? Who? What is the minus for?
For doing more than was asked.
You did not like our discovery?
A fancy is not a discovery.
Jive is not a rebuttal. You are churlish with me because Mamma is paying attention to your friend. Well, let them alone. They cannot turn back the advancement of knowledge. I think it's an excellent discovery. Each week, I plot your equations dot for dot. X's against Y's, all manner of algebraic relation. And each week they plot themselves as commonplace geometry, as if the world of forms were nothing but arcs and angles. God's true acceptance. If there is an equation for a curve and a bell, there must be an equation for one like a bluebell. And if a bluebell, why not a rose? Do we believe nature is written in numbers?
We do.
Then why do your equations only describe the shapes of manufacture?
I do not know.
And thus, God could only make a cabinet.
He has mastered equations so as leading to infinities where we cannot follow.
What a faint heart! We must work outward from the middle of the maze. We will start with something simple. I will plot this leaf and deduce its equation. You will be famous for being my tutor when Lord Byron is dead and forgotten.
And Cleopatra.
Is it Cleopatra? I hate Cleopatra.
You hate her. Why?
Everything is turned to love with her. New love, absent love, lost love. I never knew of a heroine that makes such noodles about sex. All it needs is a Roman general to drop anchor outside the window, and away goes the empire like a christening monkey with pawn trot. Queen Elizabeth had been a Ptolemy. History would
will grieve for the rest then, for the buckle lost from your first shoe, or for your lesson book which will be lost when you're old. These shed as you pick up, like travelers, you must carry everything in their arms, and what you let fall will be picked up by those behind. The procession is very long, yet life is short. We die on the march. But there's nothing outside of the march, so nothing can be lost to it. The missing plays and softenings will turn up piece by piece, or be written again in another language. Ancient cures for diseases will have their time once more. The mathematical discoveries glimpsed and lost to view will have their time again. I have no doubt that the new steam-driven heat engine that puts Mr. Nose into an ecstasy, that he and it and the modern age should all coincide, was described in Pirates. Steel and brass were not invented in Glasgow. Now, where are we? Let me see if I can attempt a free translation for you. At Harrow, I was better at this than Lord Byron. The barge she sat in, like a burnished robe, burned on the water. Something. The poop was beaten gold, purple the sails, and what's this? So perfumed that
Sheet!
the winds were lovesick.
Sheet!
The oars were silvered to the tune of flutes kept stroking.
Sheet!
And
Sheet! Sheet!
the water which they beat to follow faster, so amorous of their strokes. As for her person, it begged no description. She did lie in the pavilion.
I hope you die!
Good God, man, what have you told her?
Told her? Told her what?
Hodge,
Ah, Mr. Chater! My dear fellow, don't take back. Come in. Come in.
Captain Bryce does me the honor. That is to say, sir, whatever you have to say to me, sir, you may say to Captain Bryce.
How usual. I trust your wife is not ill? She did not appear this morning.
my wife. I have no wife. What the devil do you mean, sir?
I'm afraid you do not understand the scheme, Chater. Whom do I address when I want to speak to Captain Price?
Slippery, Hodge, slippery.
By the way, Chater, I have some amazing news to tell you. Someone has taken to writing wild and whirling letters in your name. I received one not half an hour ago.
Look to your honor, sir. If you cannot attend to me without this foolery, then nominate your second, who might settle the business as between gentlemen. No doubt your friend Byron would do you the service.
Oh, he would do me the service. Sir, I repent your injury. You are an honest fellow with no more malice in you than poetry.
Now there's more like a thing. Is he apologizing?
There is still the injury to his conjugal property. Mrs. Chater's
Tush, sir.
Very well then. Her tush. Nevertheless,
Ah, Mr. Chater, excellent sound. This will please you very much. Lord Byron begs a copy of your new book. He desires to read it and intends to include your name in his second edition of English Bards and Scotch Reviewers.
English bards and Scotch reviewers, my ladyship. There's a doggerel aimed at Lord Byron's seniors and betters. If he means to include me, he means to insult me.
Well, of course he does, Mr. Chater. Would you rather be thought not worth insulting? You should be proud to be in the company of Rogers, Moore, and Wordsworth. Oh, how sure.
That is my copy, madam.
All the better. What your friend thinks for not to be borrowed. You must speak to your friend and put him out of his affectation of pretending to quit us. I will not have it. He says he's determined you will not pack it selling out of Falmouth. His mind is full of Lisbons and Lesbos and Pottingdale pistols. I've told him it is not to be thought of. The whole of Europe will be the Napoleonic fit. All the best rooms will be closed. The roads entirely occupied with the movement of armies. He says his aim is poetry. He does not aim at poetry pistols.
hear, Mr. Chaytor. How will you answer?
By killing. I'm tired. Oh, damn your soul, Chaytor. All the mistake a lawyer and Virgil a farmer if they may debate those to which love would descend in your sportive satyrs and noodle nymphs. I am at your service with a half-ounce ball in your brain. And may it satisfy you. Shall we say behind the boathouse at daybreak, 5 o'clock? Oh, and my compliments to Mrs. Chaytor. Fear not for her while you are away. She will not want for protection while Captain Bryce will have given his pocket. He told her so himself.
You lie, sir.
No, sir. Mrs. Chaytor, perhaps.
You lie, or you will answer to me.
Oh, very well. I can picture you in 5 minutes after 5. And then it's on to the mortal packet and the form. You two will be dead. My penurious school friend will remain to tutor Lady Thomasina. And I trust everybody, including Lady Broom, will be satisfied.
He is all bluster and blather. Rest assured, Chaytor, I will let the air out of him.